So we'll close in on the building is like many other townhouses that's in the riverfront area. It's two floors. There's a basement around the back that's let in from like a very small yard. Um, just a pair of like storm doors that Alejandra, holds one open for Rosa and uh, slips down as well with the sisters. Um, the Rosenkreuz is still tied to the post that is a beam that supports like the substructure of the basement itself. And he's been stripped completely except for a hood that he's wearing. The burn that covers a good half of his body is clearly visible. And Henri is there doing what at the time that Rosa and Alejandra come down?
Yeah, she's left him gagged. Like, she doesn't dare take the gag out and try to have a conversation or anything like that. So she's still got him gagged, and she has been like threatening him. Um, she apparently didn't do it very well with her role of 15. Um, but she is basically like, I'm going to end you, and I'm going to do my best to make sure no one even remembers your name.
I will allow both of you to make independent rolls of it's just going to be your wits and scholar to kind of figure out what he's doing. He can't be heard, but
21.
Mm, 1 second while I get my character sheet open, because I actually didn't expect there to be rolls.
sure.
I was like, just in case.
I did not, just in case it. Wits and scholar, you said?
Mhm.
That is a 28.
So it's pretty clear to the both of you that the Rosencruz is praying. I don't think Honorine has had quite as much of religion in her life growing up as a Montaigne. Like,
I don't think so.
I think like prior to Emperor completely kind of being like, screw the Vatican, like, most Montaigne, attended regularly as like a formality and a lip service kind of thing. So she probably has some memories of like church when she was younger, but the Montaigne's kind of bon vivant fuck the church has been going on for some time. And Jabé isn't necessarily like fuck the church, she's just a scholar and sort of a skeptic more than anything else. So she is not heavily required it. Rosa, on the other hand, probably had a lot more experience with it.
Yeah. Um, so Honorine is just sort of like a little miffed that he hasn't answered her.
He is gagged.
I mean, he hasn't, like, there hasn't really been a response, I guess is a better way to phrase it. Like, she's said something and he just sort of ignored her. It sounds like.
Yeah, it sounds like he's speaking to the gag, but his head is bowed and the cadence of it and everything, Rosa probably recognizes like a kind of like a confession ritual if you don't have a person to confess to, something to like, ask for the mercy of Theus and the kind of thing a person might do if they were expecting to die and they had a few sins on their plate they'd like to be scrubbed off.
A few. So Honoриne's just sort of, as Rosa comes in, she kind of steps away from him and she's like, she turns to Rosa, um, and it's just sort of like, someone, someone found him.
I see that. Has he just spent his time praying? or try to talk to you.
That glitched a little bit. Has he
That
spent
glitched a
his
little bit. Do you want to
time
repeat your last
praying what
sentence?
now?
Okay. Has he been praying, or did he even try to talk to you?
Well, no. He is gagged. I didn't want his screaming to disturb the neighbors. But he's ignored me. For once.
Yeah, Rosa would have had her mask on for this.
Off or on?
On, actually. Because not knowing where she's going, not sure if what's going on exactly. And then even seeing Rosenkreuz there, she feels a sense of safety with it on. But she'll walk up to him. There's nothing Theus can do for you. Not with someone so stained by their own sins.
The hood prevents the reading of any kind of like reaction. Does that make sense? You
Yeah.
can't see his face. You can't see whether he's afraid or, belligerent. Alejandra, who's keeping watch near the door, she speaks up and she says, um, I was with uh, the Dawn when he found and retrieved Rosenkreuz. He was in the court of von Reposen, and the Duke is there as well.
The Duke being land
Redmond.
owner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's von Reposen's business. But it's good to know.
It is interesting to note.
We can. I don't think it's some minor landowner from a city that's far from her capital that really just sort of is a thorn in her side at the moment. I doubt she's going to. It doesn't seem worth it to do anything about that. Would be my read.
I agree.
Can you tell me about the night?
I did not separated. You were very, very young.
I don't remember it.
I'm glad you don't. I still have nightmares to this day. The screams, the feeling of, and she motions to her eye. The feeling of when I got this. I'm not sure who attacked me. But I remember, and she points to Rosenkreuz. I remember his face. And I remember his voice booming over the fire, saying how we all deserved it.
We lost a lot of family that day.
We are all that's left.
And she's going to go and yank the hood off of. Actually, make sure that Alejandra's not like in view, because like he's gonna die, but he could escape, and that would be bad.
Yeah.
But so she
Are they asking Alejandra like step outside, or it's a relatively small basement?
Yeah, so she's gonna either make sure Alejandra's behind the dude, or kind of like motion her over, or like at least obviously like put her hand on the hood and look at Alejandra like to give her a chance to move out of sight, or body language.
Yeah, she moves behind and she draws a blade. You think she's less concerned about like what she might see and is more like willing to act as like a backstop of like if his throat needs to be cut or something like that. Alejandra has lost a husband and seen the evils of the Inquisition firsthand. She doesn't particularly hold any kindness.
So she pulls the hood off once Alejandra has gotten where she's gonna go.
Yeah, there's a little bit where you can see it takes a moment for his eyes to adapt to the basement from, the what he could see behind the hood, which was nothing. And another moment to recognize both of your faces.
Every time I have come across this man, he's tried to set me on fire. Every time, without fail.
Rosa wants to ask Honorine something, but doesn't want him to hear. So
I don't think I can help you there.
No, Rosa has a way to do it that might freak out Honorine.
Is this gonna be a please don't squish situation again?
Yes.
So how does when Rosa's getting ready to send a message with Otto, like how does she?
She's whispering it to Otto. So
yeah, she whispers it.
So like she like takes the spider out and like starts to whisper, and
yep,
and that's what it looks like. Okay, so Honorine sees that and just kind of tilts her head. She's a little confused because I don't think she quite knows how it works yet. So she just kind of tilts her head and she's like, is this really the time? Like, are you... What? Like, she doesn't say any of that aloud, but, like, that's the look on her face. Like, do we have time for this?
And I'm trying to remember, is it 10 words that I get?
I think it's 20.
20?
There's so many.
Because I remember at the end, last from Otto, I was like, please don't squish it at the end because you had a few left over.
Yeah.
You said to reserve 3 at the end.
So, why not give him a taste of his own medicine? Can you do that down here? Except it's Rose's voice.
Which I'm pretty sure she can, either the old-fashioned way or magically.
Literally all she needs is a candle to start it. So, because I think she's at the point now where she can throw fire, so you can just like flick it onto him.
She can't throw fire yet, but she can start fire. She can feed fire.
Yeah, and then she can extinguish any fire that goes like above a certain height and risks the integrity of the building.
And so once she's done whispering to the spider and the spider like hops over toward her, there's definitely a moment where she's just like, Uh,
The spider fully like legs up, like, are we cool? Are we cool? You know?
does he? So he
And
communicates
then
by biting, right? Right.
yeah, and then there's just
He
like a
bites the
quick
ear.
little like nip on. Oh, I was gonna say like it works anywhere, like just a quick
Oh,
little
it
like
does?
nip on the finger.
Oh,
Um,
yay.
and then like there's like a weight that like she can almost like feel something like moving through her veins. Does that make sense? From like where it bit, and then suddenly she like hears the words in her ear.
That's really cool, but also creepy. So what
I
I'm
try.
picturing in my head is that Rosa's probably like without breaking eye contact, whispering to her spider, looking directly at Honorine, and then like offering the spider. And Honorine's like, "Oh, you've got to be kidding me right now," and like slowly extends a hand and like gets the bite on the finger and like makes a face.
Yeah, and it kind of like does a little like pat pat with its front legs, like of where the bite was. Like, see, we're fine, and then jumps back to Rose's hand.
We're good. We're cool. We're cool. Be cool. Um, and then Honorine kind of tilts her head as she listens to the message. And there's like a nod. And she says, "My thoughts exactly." Do you need to ask him anything before?
She'll take off her mask to reveal her face. I have no questions for Lord.
You have no
Did you
questions.
say I have no questions for?
I have no questions for a murderer.
So Honorine has, in a number of circumstances, likely heard people like given a death sentence, I assume.
Yeah,
And
especially
so
in Montaigne of late.
she's 100% going to, Cardinal?
No, he's not a cardinal.
What
No.
what is he?
He's an archbishop.
Archbishop, first name Rosenkreuz. You've been found guilty and I pronounce you to die, or I sentence you to die, or something like that. And then
He says something through the gag. I'll let you make a withdrawal if you want to try to deduce what it is.
just straight wits.
Yep.
18?
Yeah, it's going to be like 10 or higher. It's not hard.
15.
Okay. Yeah, it's you have not the authority to judge him.
You had not the authority to try to burn my city down. And she's
Oh.
going to set the camera to candle to his. Where's he? Are his feet bound?
Mhm.
Gonna just tuck
Manacled, actually, like
Oh.
both at the wrist.
the, not rope. Okay. And she's just gonna set the candle to his skin like at like waist height. Then she's not gonna bend down. There are implications when you bend down in front of a naked man that she doesn't want to mess with. So she's just gonna set the candle to his flesh.
The question I have is, to what degree is she feeding it? To what degree is she making it like a slow process, or is she just allowing that when he starts burning, that the fire will consume him quickly?
She's not here to torture him in particular. She's here to see him die, and die in the manner in which he would have seen her die.
Okay.
So
I'm assuming that's like as fast as possible without risking the structure itself.
She's fully putting all 3 dots of feed her whole chest into it, just as long as it doesn't burn
So
down the house.
mechanically, I'm just going to break it down because what that is that's 3k3 flesh wounds per turn, right? And he would be making a soak roll and like gradually building up like the necessary dramatic wounds to get to, because he's a full villain, so to get to a full number of dramatic. So it's definitely like more than a minute of screaming, of burning flesh, of terror and pain, of pleading to Theus, and is probably, I don't think either Rosa or Honorine has like killed anyone before, right?
No, and I
No.
definitely Honorine is going to like reach out and like grab Rosa's hand really, really hard.
Yeah.
And
And there's a point where the screaming is the loudest that Alejandra just sort of like looks around and like offers the blade that she has in hand. You know what I'm saying? Like basically to indicate like she can make it quick at this point.
What were you saying about Rosa?
Rosa is watching for the black strand.
Yeah. She can see it.
Yeah. The moment she sees it, she's just like, end it.
Okay. And Alejandra makes like a clean cut, like across the throat that's like deep enough to like sever the nerve in the spine, which is going to be, like another second or two, but it's not feeling as much the pain burning. After which, the question is kind of how much of the evidence is honoring consuming the flame? Is she
Once
leaving
he's
enough body to bury, or is she like burning him to ash?
fully he's getting cremated. He's
Okay.
getting fully cremated. She's going to kind of like, I don't know if Alejandra's seen her magic before. I think she has though.
I think she saw it during the fighting. There's still a moment where Henri notes her kind of like making a cross. Does that make sense? And you're not really sure whether it's like because of the death, because of the sorcerer, because of just like watching a man burn to death isn't anything.
And Honoриne's going to just sort of like give her as much of a reassuring nod as she can, and then just sort of like, kind of open her hands and like kind of do her best to handle the flame, just like keep it hot enough that it will actually burn a person, which is pretty fucking hot, but also keep it contained so that it's not singeing everything. So she doesn't want to start like a city fire or anything like that, but
Yeah.
she doesn't want to really leave behind much evidence.
This building is adjacent to the river if she wants to take the ashes to disperse there.
Is there an
According
outhouse
to the
nearby?
doctrines of his own faith, like um it would be that or return to the church if it wanted to be respected. If she definitely wants to like disrespect his remains, then sure, wherever.
That was mostly tongue in cheek, but I am tempted to just be like, let's dump it in a latrine. She's going to kind of gather the ashes up, and she's going to actually give them to Alejandra to dispose of, like however she would like to.
Um,
Assuming Rosa doesn't be like, give me that.
No. Rosa will, after she's kind of watched the body burn and it's cremated, she does agree to give it to Alejandra to get rid of.
yeah, she does hear Marietta's voice, like as she's contemplating the decision. And Marietta says, keep the ashes of a worthy enemy on a mantle to remind you never to let down your guard. Or one
Keep
day
the
it may be
ashes what?
keep the ashes on a mantle. Says, or one day it may be your family burning.
And Rosa's response is still the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because even for her to keep alive the memory of that man is a disrespect to her entire family.
Alejandro
Her
takes
family
them.
is already burned.
Uh,
Alejandro, what?
Alejandro takes them and just says, "I'll have them interred with the church." Uh,
Thank you.
Grazie.
she says, "I'll see you around the bear house. It'll be good to get back to making music." And
Once
she stops long enough to like give both of them an embrace.
once Alejandra is gone, Honoриne's gonna turn to Rosa and just give her the biggest hug, like the biggest like squeezy hug. And it's not necessarily to comfort Rosa. I don't know if Rosa would have a sense of this from the time she's known Honorine or just her general people's senses, but it's 100% because Honorine needs a hug. Like she's shaking. She definitely has like tears running down her face like that. It's not easy to listen to the screams of someone burning to death and just come out of it super blasé and walking away from the explosion without looking back or whatever.
And from Rosa, yes, she's hugging you tight, but there is none of that fear in her. For her, this is almost like a resolution. Like, okay, I can try to move forward now. Vengeance is gone.
I feel like I interrupted you earlier after Honorine asked, like, hey, tell me about that night. So is there any, like, part of the night that Rosa would have recounted or anything that stuck in her mind?
No. She does very much. The way that I said it is how she very much says it. She does not get into detail. It almost feels like Rose has been trying to run away from this for such a long time that now the boogeyman of that story is gone. It's almost obvious that she's like, okay, I can put this fully to bed. I can just be Rosa now. There's no reason to worry about it.
She's just hug.
Eventually, it is early. Should we get a cappuccino and some breakfast?
We can go back to my house and have some breakfast. That way we can clean off the soot
Smell.
and smell.
Agreed.
Hopefully they're not waking up Waldo. Sometimes I wonder if he like sleeps on the couch with his shotgun, like just because he feels so bad about what happened before.
No, but like she does when she goes in, she can see that like it looks like the earliest efforts to like build a pond have been made. Like it's been dug out. It looks like there's stone lining the basin of it now. There's still gonna be some like dirt and mud and stuff like that, but the basic setup of it is there. There's a tree in the backyard that it looks like they've sort of dug partially around it, so they have enough like earth, like so that its roots won't rot, but it's built to look like it'll be in the shadow of that tree.
That sounds really cool. And Honorine will be like, "Oh, did I tell you that Koenig Fischler sent me fish?" Fish. Fish that
Interesting.
They're not pretty, and you can't eat them. And well, you could, but they're apparently disgusting. I'm sorry, say that again.
What were you saying? My internet's unstable still.
Yeah, it just like crapped out for a second. She's like, they're not pretty, and you can't eat them, but they're fish. He sent me fish.
That's
I don't know either.
is a very interesting.